Well, in some breaking news coming in, the two professors released by ISIS militants were freed because they were the former teachers of the ISIS militants in Libya. The brother of one of the Hyderabad professor, who is still in ISIS captivity, told India Today that many students had joined the terror group and that was the reason why their former teachers were let off almost immediately. The other two, who are still in ISIS captivity, have to show the proof that they work at the university to obtain their release. The family of Professor Balaram, who is still kept captive by ISIS, met the Union Labour Minister to appeal to him to take up the issue with the Ministry of External Affairs.
इस्लामिक स्टेट में जो स्टूडेंट्स मिल गया था, वो स्टूडेंट्स ने बताया था, अभी लक्ष्मीकांत विजय कुमार दोनों भी अपना प्रोफेसर से बोल के वो लोग बोला है, जब वो लोग को तुरंत वहाँ से रिलीज कर दिया। अभी ये दोनों गोपी कृष्ण एंड बलराम जो है, ये लोग को तो प्रूफ पूरा दिखाना पड़ेगा, ये लोग वहाँ से वहाँ पे काम कर रहा बोल के, जब भी वो लोग को तो छोड़ेगा करके इन्फॉर्मेशन आया था।
Well, editor South T.S. Sudhir now joins us for more details on this. Sudhir, disturbing news coming in a way that they were actually teachers, of the ISIS militants in Libya.
Absolutely. Strange as it may sound, Avantika, the fact remains that many of these former students have now turned militants in Libya, and many of them are part of the Islamic State. And as luck would have it, these two teachers, Professor Vijay Kumar and Lakshmikant from Karnataka, had taught some of these militants who had actually kidnapped them, and that helped in securing the release of the two professors from Karnataka almost immediately, and they would be returning back to India tomorrow. But the two professors from Hyderabad who taught at a different branch and obviously were not familiar with the students, their release has not been secured because they have been asked to produce documents from their university to show that and establish that they're indeed professors teaching different subjects at that university. So that's what is probably taking some time. We are also told that because of some internal strikes within Libya, the entire process of securing their release has been delayed by at least 36 hours. But the families here in Hyderabad hopeful that they would manage to come out free, just like the two professors from Karnataka. All right. Sudhir, just stay with us. We're also getting a reaction in there. Let's listen in.
He gave me 100% assurance that he told me that he'll look into the matter, and today itself he'll talk with Sushma Swaraj and he'll see that at the earliest he'll make them to be released.
And Government of India, hourly monitoring is taking place. Every hour she is taking the situation and appraising us. That's why the things will be moving positive direction.
So now that we know that, they were actually teaching to the students of ISIS in that university, do you think that was one of the reasons why they were let off so easily in the first place? On the other hand, there are two other Indians who are still held in captivity and dialogue is still going on to try for their release immediately.
It would seem so, and that is what has been conveyed by one of the professors, Professor Lakshmikant, to the family members of Professor Gopi Krishna, and he also told them that they were being treated well, they were not being ill-treated while they are in captivity. So they are hopeful that just like the two professors from Karnataka were released, these two professors who are teaching at another branch of the university would also be released. But yes, the family is very anxious. They are in fact knocking at almost every door of both the government of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh as well as the central government, because they do believe that these are difficult times, and it's also a situation where the government of India does not really have great control over the situation out there in Libya. The interlocutors are at work, and the longer the period of captivity goes on, their anxiety is only increasing because there are aged parents who live in Srikakulam district of Andhra Pradesh. But yes, at this point in time, they made an appeal also to the Telangana CM to try and use his good offices with the Ministry of External Affairs to try and secure the release of both these professors from Hyderabad.
And when you did speak to the families, is there anything else that you could gather from them? What exactly did they have to say? When was the last time they had contact with the teacher who has been released now?
Well, ever since they started off, ever since the kidnapping, there has been no contact except with the professors who have been released, the two professors from Karnataka. Now, what is surprising is that all through, even though that Libya has been in turmoil since 2011, ever since the downfall of Colonel Gaddafi, these professors who were inside the university campus never actually felt unsafe, which is why they used to come for a 1.5 month of vacation every year and go back to teaching. In fact, even this time, Professor Gopi Krishna had his return ticket already booked on the 15th of September to go back to Libya. But this time, obviously, the family believes that there is no way they're going to let him go back. The families do not want to take this kind of a chance again. In fact, the family of Professor Gopi Krishna was with him till 2010, and only for the education of the children, the wife and the two kids came back to India. And again, they reiterate, during their stay in Libya, they really never felt any point of lack of safety and security while they were in that country.
All right, Sudeep, thanks so much for giving us those updates. All right, two of the 4 Indians abducted by terrorists affiliated to ISIS are now on their way back to India. Vijay Kumar and Lakshminand reached Tripoli last night as arrangements were made by Indian missions in Tripoli and Tunisia for them to fly back home. However, not much is known about the 2 other Indians who were also taken hostage. The Ministry of External Affairs sources have also said that their release has been delayed due to Libya's internal politics. Sources have also added that their release is, however, expected in the next 48 hours. The 4 Indians have been abducted on the 29th of July when they were on their way back to India from Libya. The 4 had been teaching at a local university in Sirte. They were reportedly stopped at a rebel checkpost 50 kilometers from Tripoli when they were on their way to Tunisia.